All right, welcome back to Math is Easy, step by step. So I wanted to answer in this part 5 video, answer that first test question I introduced you to. You can see it here. If the equation of a line is equal to y equals 5x plus 5, find the x-intercept and the y-intercept of the equation and plot each on the graph below. And graph the straight line below. So in a linear equation, that's just a straight line, right? Represented by y equals mx plus b. It needs to be in y equals form in order for you to use this slope-intercept form. But m represents your slope. Here the slope is 5 over the invisible 1, right? Y over x. And if that doesn't seem familiar, just wait. I will create more videos going over this form as well as other forms, which explains the slope. But the slope in this equation is represented by 5. X is the x plus plus, and then the b in slope-intercept form represents the y-intercept. So the y-intercept, just looking at the equation, you know will be 5. And if you watch the earlier videos, I believe it was part 2, I explained how x is always going to be 0 and your y-intercept will be this particular value for b. So my y-intercept is 0 for x, 5 for y. Let me show that to you now. 0 for x and 5 for y. And always, always, always your y-intercept will be 0 for x. Always, always. And that's why you can look at this equation and know your b value will always be your y-intercept. The y value of 5 in our ordered pair plot point. X will always be 0. Again, y represents the b value you see here. So that's your y-intercept. And your y-intercept is equal to that b value in any and all equations. Now the x-intercept here is a little bit trickier, right? We gotta follow a couple of steps in solving a two-step equation using this equation here, right? This linear function equation, you could call it. And y will always, always, always be set to 0 for your x-intercept, right? So we're going to take this equation. Everywhere you see a y, and we only have it one spot, you're going to substitute a 0. You're going to solve for x. Your x value will be your y-intercept. So let's go ahead and take a look. What does that look like? So we have, again, that equation, y equals 5x plus 5, right? And so I'm going to move this up a little bit more. Excuse me. I apologize if I took away anybody's focus there. So y equals 5x. I'm going to substitute 0 for y. And I'm showing you that here in this step. I'm going to solve for x, right? What does that mean? That means I want to get x all by itself. I want to turn that positive 5 into a 0. And I want to turn that 5 attached to the x through multiplication into a 1. Or an invisible 1 like I teach my students. So what's the opposite of adding 5? Hey, I'm going to subtract 5. Let me get my tongue out of the way. Ooh, it happens a lot. I'm going to subtract 5 or add a negative 5. 5 plus a negative 5 is 0. But what I do to one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other side of the equal sign. So 0 plus a negative 5 is negative 5. I'm left with 5x equals a negative 5. I'm going to show you that here. Now, I want to get x all by itself, right? Because I'm solving for x, so I can put what x equals up in that coordinate point or ordered pair. What's the opposite or inverse of multiplying 5 times x? It's to divide 5. But what I do to one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other side of the equal sign. So 5 over 5 is that invisible 1 in front of the x. Now x will be all by itself. 5 divided by 5 is 1. I have 1 negative, 1 positive. That means this will be a negative 1 value. So x equals negative 1. X equals negative 1. So my x-intercept, my x value, will be a negative 1. My y value for the x-intercept will always, always, always be 0. Always, always, always will be 0. So now we have our x value, we have our y-intercept, we have our x-intercept. Let's go ahead and I'm going to plot those 2 points on the graph. So let me show you the rest of the graph here. There we go. We have our x-axis, which goes from left to right. The right side is positive, the left side is negative. We have our y-axis. Anything above 0 is positive. Anything below 0 is negative. So let's plot these 2 points. I'll start with my y-intercept. So my y-intercept is at 0 for x, 5 for y. So always start at the origin, 0, 0, right at the crosshairs. And I'm going to go 0 direction on my x-axis. I'm going to go positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on my y-axis. Let's see if I can do this here. There is my y-intercept at 0 for x, positive 5 for y. 0 for x, positive 5 for y. Now I'd like to go ahead and plot my x-intercept that you can see up here at plot point negative 1 for x, 0 for y. So I start at the origin. I go negative 1 on my x. And you can see here there's a negative 5, negative 10. So I'm going to go over negative 1 on my x value, 0 on my y. So right here is going to be my x-intercept, and that is at negative 1. And so, again, you only need 2 plot points, technically, to graph a straight line. And so I'm going to grab my handy-dandy ruler, and I'm going to graph this straight line just to show you. Excuse me, sorry about that. Where the graph crosses the y-axis is going to be your y-intercept. And here it's at 0 for x. This point is 0 for x, 5 for y. And where your graph crosses the x-axis, let me straighten that out a little bit, is going to be your x-intercept. And this is negative 1 for x, 0 for y. And again, this graph will go on and on and on forever in each direction. That is our linear equation. I could show you a lot more about the slope real quick. I'm going to go over this, but this isn't part of the answer to the question. It's giving you more information. My slope was 5 over 1, right? 5 represents the y. The invisible 1 represents the x. Negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 1, negative over negative equals a positive. You can see this represents my slope. I could continue to another negative 5 over negative 1, negative 5, negative. I could continue to plot points using just the slope and my y-intercept. If that's confusing, don't worry about it. I'm going to do more videos. I'm going to explain this in depth. Thank you for joining me. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Please, if I have helped you, please help me to continue bringing these videos to you. You can donate. Thank you so much.